Welcome back. What the fuck? Welcome back into another Dragon Ball Supercard game video, and today I wanted to make a pretty quick video rounding up pretty much all of the top placings and some of the decks of the DBS Fest events that happened over the weekend. And please, if I get anything wrong or if I am missing anything, which I am, I will show you what I'm missing. Please let me know in the comments below. If you did play in the DBS Fest events and you've topped or got top 16 or with a pretty interesting deck or any deck that you think needs a little bit of attention, please let me know. And that does go for Asia and as well as Latin America. They had events and they're as important as the NA one, so I really want to make sure that they have enough attention and as well as that they get the attention they deserve. Before I start with the top placings and as well as the decks, I mean, it seemed like pretty much all the events were a good success. Like overall, there were a lot of drawbacks, or at least a few drawbacks that people weren't really happy about, specifically about the time rules and as well as the drawing. Two players in the NA tournament ended up getting a draw after they didn't show up. I mean, that's kind of a problematic thing. There is a little bit of discussion about the undefeated rule upcoming again. I mean, that's been kind of a back and forth as soon as we started having an undefeated rule / time rules and things like that. It's been such a back and forth. I, for one, think there should be something that benefits the player and as well as the TOs and as well as Bandai, that all kind of comes together, that works out. And I think that's the challenge, finding the balance. The undefeated rule, as in you play until one player is undefeated, which it could be 6 rounds, could be 7 rounds, could be 8 rounds. Probably should go. I think there should be a set amount of rounds based on the amount of people, and you should stick with it. Now, if you look in the actual rule book, I mean, it is actually in the rule book. I've had to read it and I've had to follow it and go through it by helping events and TOing events. There is something that says if you set amount of rounds at the beginning of the tournament or the event, you have to stick to that and it can't be changed. Even if there is one person that has one undefeated or someone who has undefeated. If you say 9 rounds, then you play 9 rounds. If you say 8 rounds, you have to play 8. I think the discrepancy for play TCG, no fault to them. I think they're a little bit new to Dragon Ball and as well as this specific card game. I think they had a little bit of issue with maybe just organizing it and as well as just the rulings and things like that. And it really just comes down to making the decisions right then and there and just making the event go smoothly and quickly as possible. The downside of that is that, again, with the undefeated rule and as well as time rules and as well as ties and things like that, that really kind of hinders people's placings. Shout out to Russell Stelzer. It really sucks to hear what happened to him regarding that type of thing. Long story short, I think the undefeated rules should probably go. Time rules are probably still fine. I don't really have too much of an issue with that. And then best of 1 pre-sides seem to have a resounding type of yes, let's do that again, and most likely we'll see that in the webcams upcoming as well. As far as other controversies and as well as other things that kind of happened, it kind of sucks to see it, but if you haven't taken a look at the clip, which I'll put it on the screen here, there was a player in the Latin America fest in which he ended up come on, just look at it. Honestly, I mean, I'll zoom in on it just in case I don't make that clear. Can't really pronounce his name, but I'll put it on the screen here. I've already banned you on my Discord. You played in my tournament before. If you're watching this video, sorry, but I don't tolerate cheating or I don't tolerate that kind of thing. And honestly, I hope this does get to Bandai and as well as other tournament organizers, so that way they can do the same. Anyway, yeah, man. So the top 16. So Play TCG actually did bring out a nice little bracket on the stream, and a big shout out to everyone who was on the stream. As far as commentators, we had Eggman, obviously from our team. We had Eric, the crit god, shout out to that boy, and it was of course Evan U7 who closed it out with the amount of energy and the amount of effort that he put in to actually give that kind of experience. If it wasn't for Evan, by the way, and you can see me with my hands here as I talk when I was supposed to be talking about this, if you haven't seen Evan, or it wasn't for Evan, I wouldn't have like some sort of like vicariously living myself at the event, and it seemed like it was really fun, despite all the mishaps and the long type of rounds and getting things going, especially for the Digifest. It broke my heart hearing that type of stuff. Either way, I'm thankful for him and as well as the commentators, and shout out to the person who did production, because goddamn, I have a lot to learn just looking at the stuff that he did, or they did probably. Either way, as we can see, we have the top 16 on the left. I put what I knew on the top 8 as far as Giancarlo, who was first in Swiss. Shout out to him with King Piccolo. Got beat out in top 8 by Danny, who was playing Gogeta Xeno. And then we have Juha Bach. Shout out to him, honestly. Like, I just see him pretty much all the time in top 16, and it's been pretty consistent. And shout out to him for playing Jiren way back when. But either way, he ended up in top 4, beating out Austin, who played Trunks and Vegeta, and then KP with Eddie St. Hilaire and Michael Kano, who actually took the whole thing. And then Henry Silva, the Soul Striker with red blue, that had the Invoker package, the Goku, and as well as was the Catastrophic Blow. There you go. And then Janik, which I think that name is incorrect on that one. Big shout out to him. The set 16 U7 Goku with the world stamp, just flexing on everyone. And then on the top 16, I wasn't able to get all of the decks, but we had George from PPG. Shout out to him as well. He played Sin Shenron. I don't know pretty much anyone else here. I think Abel probably played something black. Just seeing him in the top 16 cuts before. Armani probably something blue. Arturo, no idea. Chia, no idea. Don't know which Joey that is. I don't know if that's Cross World TCG Joey or not, but if you know, please let me know in the comments below. This is a community effort, let's put it that way. Speaking of Latin America, this is the top cut for Latin America, or not top cut, but Swiss standings for Latin America. And let me see if I can bring up the top cut. I mean, either way, it's really interesting to see what kind of decks were in the top 16 in general. We had Turles, which is the green Turles, not even the yellow one, which I think what the idea was to counteract King Piccolo, because King Piccolo flips all his life. He can't awaken if he keeps all of his life flipped down, and I think the fruit keeps it flipped down, and that he gets the fruit every turn. So it's just hilarious to see that. It's just super troll. I don't know how it goes against literally any other deck, because you're not going to play a KP all day every day, right? And then we have Launch. I think that was the red blue one. Gogeta Xeno, Goku U7, which is not surprising. Both of those 3 and 4. Cooler, which is awesome because he took the whole event. I really try to reach out to get that deck profile. If you're watching this, definitely message me to see if you're still down for that. Vegeta Ramp, which is awesome. We had KP for 7 and 8. Android 16, which is just a notable thing. It's just Android 16 just kind of sneaks into top 16 nowadays. Hatch, and then 12 with Trunks of Vegeta, which is the yellow one. Goku U7, set 16 Goku U7 for 5th, and then AOD sneaking in at 16th, which I do believe top 4 was Hatch, Gogeta Xeno, and Cooler, and I think it was Android 16, Hatch, and Cooler in the top 4 from what I can see. A lot of different decks, honestly, a lot of different decks. I really admire pretty much everything that the Latin America, format as well as meta and the players kind of give different decks a chance, basically. And that's the biggest difference I would say between NA and as well as like international type of players and decks. I'm sure I missed some stuff. Obviously there's missing things here, or if I got something wrong, but the stream is still up as far as the VOD for the top 16 as well as the Swiss. I'll put a link below for that. Okay, here's the UK Fest by Tom Smith. He posted in the main group. We had Android 18 Mill, which is not surprising. We saw it take, what, Core, I think? I'm pretty sure it was Core. And then Android 16 in the top 16, or wow. Android 16 in the top 2, or the finals, basically, or like the top cut standings, which is awesome. I love Android 16. I would love to see that deck list as well, and probably will be playing it for the upcoming events myself. Sin Shenron, of course. His 4th is Gogeta Xeno. Blue Bojack, which shout out to Big O Nation. He literally said, I'm pretty sure someone told me that he said, I was like, hey, I'm gonna talk with this, and he did. So that's what's up. I think his Twitch is that, the Big O Nation notation, sorry. And then Wish Zamasu in the top 8 with the Gogeta Xeno and Blue Baby. I don't know who's playing Blue Baby, but that's kind of funny. And then a follow-up that he heard from a friend, which, it could be inaccurate, but that's okay. We had top 8 with first place Red Jiren from Scope Games again, and then King Piccolo for second place. Fourth place is Blue Baby. I don't know who's playing Blue Baby, but they doing it up in England and UK. And then we have Yellow Trunks, King Piccolo, King Jiren, Red Jiren, and then Red Cooler. A lot of red decks nowadays, huh? A lot of red decks, which is just pushing out the yellow. My yellow got hit with Icarus because obviously he got ratted, and because of that, you know, these red decks are kind of stomping on these yellow decks that play out more and more things. And finally, Asia. Yeah, shout out to Mr. Wang Poan, which I always forget his actual like pronunciation and name, but the top 4 for the DBS Fest, he says the first place was Cream Broly, which is just funny. Let's just funny, honestly. Just like him, he judged this event because that's what we put the parentheses, not me. And just first place Green Broly is just I can't get over that, man. And then 2 Black Trunks, which is basically the new set 16, and then Blue Yellow Soul Striker, which is not surprising. It's a pretty safe bet. It's really matchup dependent, I would say, right now, as far as the blue yellow variant, but it is still pretty strong. That's it. That's all the information I have. I would love to talk more, but I would probably talk for a good hour. I think the format right now is very diverse. King Piccolo is a very strong deck, but we need more events to see, you know, if it's really the #1 deck, and something that we actually have to take a look at, because we did have pretty much King Piccolo in every finals that we've had since the regional season started, right? So the last 3 events, King Piccolo has been the first, in the finals, basically. Not so much first place, but still, I think this is something to kind of look at. Diversity is really good because it's, you know, the decks that aren't very consistent and doesn't do something over and over again that actually is very strong, it's going to be pushed out and maybe get you a top 16, and also is pilot dependent. If you haven't seen our tier list for leaders, which I will post probably tomorrow when this is posted, so the day after, we ranked all the ones for like finals capable top 16 and things like that, and KP is definitely one of those. I think we're in a good place right now. It's kind of hard to deal with KP sometimes. Same thing for Sin Shenron, so we'll see what happens in set 17, where we are going to have another ban list, but it's going to be great because now we have the next fest in Miami this upcoming weekend, and then we also have April, where we have all these other events coming up, the offline one, the online one, as well as the convention one. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about the format, what you think about the fest. If you went, if you didn't go, why didn't you go? I didn't go because Devin canceled. I blame him. And let me know if you did participate and ended up topping with a cool deck. I'm more than happy to do that. You can find me in Discord or on Facebook. I'll see you in the next one.